we'll see about random process. A random process, as you know, it's nothing but a collection of random variables. A random process or stochastic process is an ensemble process. Ensemble that is nothing but statistical or sample space. So such a sample space consists of sample points whose outcome is a random function of time. Totality of the various time instance of these random instance of signal x1 of t, x2 of t, up to xn of t are called as random process. It is a function of time, such as tossing up of a fair coin, throw of a fair die. So all these random instance, when they are collectively put, it is referred to as a random process. So if random process is observed over an interval of time, so minus t to plus t, then the random process is mathematically represented by x of t comma s. So x of t is nothing but it is the time instant, s is the sample space, and it lies between minus t to plus t, where s represents the point in the sample space. As you know, random process, it's nothing but it involves various random signals. So they are not defined by deterministic parameters, but instead they are given as statistical parameters. So that is mean, variance, and what to say, that is the standard deviation. So these are the process by which you can measure random signals. Now, what is a stationary process? A stationary process is when the statistical properties of a process do not change with time. It is called as a stationary process. So a stationary process is generated from stable physical phenomenon, which is that is under steady state. Okay, such as a random movement of electrons in a conductor. A random movement of electrons contribute to a random distribution, which is nothing but a normal or Gaussian distribution. So if a random process observed at different times t1, t2, tk, and the corresponding random variables are x of t1, x of t2, tk, the random variables are represented by a joint distribution function. So random variables are uh, collectively coined to represent a random process, as we know, which you are aware of. Now, what we'll do is we'll apply these linear filters and filtering techniques to random process. So based on which you can expect some gate exam questions. So there are various filters. You can have ideal filters, low pass, band pass filters. So each of these filters are specified by the cutoff frequencies, low pass filter or high pass filter or band pass filter. So lower and upper cutoff frequencies. So each of these filters are represented by the pass band and stop band frequencies. So you have the high pass filter, then you have the notch filter. So this is the transfer function of an ideal band pass filter. So the transfer function of an ideal band pass filter is that the transfer function of an ideal band pass filter is that. So you'll be having cutoff frequencies. Okay, you'll be having cutoff frequencies at both the ends. So you'll be having cutoff frequencies at both the ends, and then these cutoff frequencies. So will be from here. It is given as the lower FU to FL. So that is the upper frequency and the lower frequency in the pass band, and then similarly it is its image on the negative half. So minus FL to minus FU. So it is a plot of frequency in the x-axis and it is a plot of transfer function in the y-axis. That is what I mean by the transfer function. Okay. So to move on further, if you look into an ideal low pass filter, you have the transfer function and the impulse response. So the ideal low pass filter, transfer function and impulse response. So you have ideal filters are non-causal. Ideal filters are non-causal. So you have the time domain representation. So the time domain representation is a time shifted sync pulse. And then if you take the Fourier transform in the frequency domain, it is nothing but a rectangular pulse. It is a rectangular pulse plus b to minus b. So plus b2 minus b. So you have a capital K to b. Okay. So you need to be aware of Fourier transform of zinc pulse is nothing but the transfer function. So band limiting and time limiting is possible. Band limiting and time limiting is possible. It is possible to have perfect band limiting and time limiting at the same time. Okay. The real world filters. So the real world filters, they are represented by half power or 3 dB bandwidth. Half power or 3 dB bandwidth, the pass band, transition band, or and the stop band. So the typical amplitude ratio of a real band pass filter will have a frequency response of this particular type. Okay, so you'll be having the upper frequency, the lower frequency, and the K is nothing but it is the level or the frequency range. It is the level or the frequency range K by root 2. So there is the 3 dB half hour or 3 dB bandwidth. Okay, so where you'll be having the stop band and the pass band. Okay. Then you have quadrature filters and Hilbert transforms. The quadrature filter is an all-pass network that shifts the phase of positive frequencies by minus 90 degrees and negative frequencies by plus 90 degrees. Okay. So quadrature filters. So this is nothing but a signum function. So SGN is nothing but signum function. So you'll be having um, and when the frequency is greater than 0, you'll be having minus j, and when the frequency is less than 0, you'll be having plus j. So the Hilbert transform of the signum function is given by 1 by pi t. So the quadrature filter is an all-pass network that shifts the phase of positive frequencies by minus 90 degrees and negative frequencies by plus 90 degrees. Okay, so the quadrature filtering and Hilbert transform. So the Hilbert transform x cap and x cap. This is the convolution symbol actually. X cap and x of t is nothing but. So it is nothing but 1 by pi star t. So this is nothing but 1 by pi integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of lambda divided by t minus lambda d lambda. So the Fourier transform of Hilbert transform is nothing but. So Fourier transform x cap of t is nothing but it is minus j sgn of f, capital X of f, HQ of f, and x of f. Okay. So the Hilbert transform. Okay. So the Hilbert transform of a rectangular pulse. So this is nothing but the convolution end. So the signal is distributed from 0 to t, and then you have the rectangular pulse. Then you have the rectangular pulse of time duration tau. So and then you have the signal amplitude as a and 1 by t minus lambda along the negative quadrant. Okay, so likewise you have be having 1 by t minus lambda along this particular quadrant, and also what is the convolution of the two signals representation. Okay. Likewise, the Hilbert transform of a cosine signal. The Hilbert transform of a cosine signal x of t is nothing but a cos omega naught of t plus phi. X cap of f is equal to minus j sgn fx of f, and this is nothing but since this is the signum function, so x of f is nothing but it is the Fourier transform of the cosine signal. So cosine signal has a frequency spectrum del of f minus f naught. So you'll be having unit impulse components along the negative axis and also along the positive axis. So this is sgn of f. So, so if you simplify this further, so this is a by 2j del of f minus f naught plus del of f plus f naught. X cap of t is nothing but f inverse of f. X cap of f is nothing but ultimately it comes to a sine omega naught of t plus phi. So instead of separating signals based on frequency content, we can separate them based on the phase content. So that is called as Hilbert transform. So the Hilbert transform is used for describing a single sideband signal and other band pass signals. So the properties of Hilbert transform. So x of t and x cap of t have the same amplitude spectrum. So energy and power in a signal and its Hilbert transform are equal. X of t and x cap of t are orthogonal to each other. So this is so if you integrate x of t and x cap of t, so its energy is equal to ultimately it is zero. Then it is a power signal. The power value limit t tends to infinity 1 by 2t integral minus t to plus t x or t escape of t is also tends to 0. Now we'll pass on to correlation. So correlation, as you know, it is finding out the similarity between two variables at different time instance. That is what I mean by correlation. So correlation and spectral density. So stochastic process. The signal with uncertainty is described probabilistically. The signal with uncertainty is described probabilistically. So a non-periodical signal, non-energy signal. So a bit stream, it can be either voice or a noisy signal. So two ways to describe are probability space and mapping to sample path. Then you have the Kolmogorov's extension theorem. So these are the various possible ways by which you can represent a stochastic process. Okay. Okay. Now we'll pass on to ensemble average. So ensemble average. So at any given time t, v cap of t is equal to expectation of v of t. Expectation of v of t is equal to integral minus infinity plus infinity v f v of v dependent on t is dv. Okay. So fv is nothing but it is the probability density function for a given random process v of t, and the correlation is nothing but rw of t1 comma t2, expectation of v of t1 w of t2. So so if it is vv, then it is going to be autocorrelation, and then if it is wv, it is going to be cross correlation. That is what we mean by. So finding out, so ensemble average is nothing but it is statistical average. So ensemble average is statistical average. So ensemble average is used to find out the time instant uh, between two different time instance. If it is going to be an autocorrelation, it will be the same variable, or if it is a cross correlation, it will be a different variable. Okay, so here autocorrelation, as you know, it is given as RVV of T1 comma T2, RVV of T1 comma T2, expectation of V of T1, V of T2, integral minus infinity plus infinity, minus infinity plus infinity, V1, V2, if V1, V2, V1, V2 dependent on T1, T2 is nothing but dV1, dV2. So now if you relate the time average against the ensemble average, so ensemble average is nothing but it is finding out the average at different time instance. So it is a collection of averages taken across a different instance of time. So expectation of v of t integral minus infinity plus infinity v if v v dependent on t dv. Okay. Likewise, time average is represented by limit t tends to infinity 1 by t integral minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 v of t, and also the power spectral density. The power spectral density is nothing but sxx of f. So limit del tends to infinity, expectation of x of del f the whole square divided by 2 del. Okay. So sxx of f is nothing but, so it is the Fourier transform of the autocorrelation. So sx of f is nothing but the power spectral density. If you take the Fourier transform of the autocorrelation function at if you take the Fourier transform of the autocorrelation function at a different time instance, then it is referred to as the power spectral density. So interpretation of the spectral density functions. So the spectral density function, so fc is the cutoff frequency. It lies between 0 to f. Gx of f is nothing but it is the magnitude of the Fourier transform of the signal. So h of f is nothing but the transfer function. So this is the representation for a particular band of signal, and then if you have clipping for the spectral density function, then you will be having gx of Fc. Okay. Then we'll now pass on to real valued Whitson stationary process. A real valued random process is called Whitson stationary if the following two properties are satisfied. So what is the first property? Property 1 is nothing but expectation of v of t is nothing but it is a constant. Okay, so expectation of v of t is nothing but it is a constant, and then expectation of v of t1, v of t2 is nothing but autocorrelation of the random process. Okay, so t1 minus t2 is represented as tau, and rw of tau is the expectation of v of t minus tau. So expectation of v of t plus tau into v of t. Okay, so the power spectral density of a real valued Whitson stationary random process. So this is nothing but the well-known Wiener-Khinchin theorem. You can expect problems on Wiener-Khinchin theorem. The SVV of f is nothing but f of RVV of tau. So integral minus integral plus infinity RVV of tau e power minus j 2 pi f tau d tau. So the autocorrelation function. So as you know, the power spectral density is nothing but the Fourier transform of the autocorrelation function. So it is represented in terms of time domain. It is represented in terms of time domain. It is represented in terms of time domain. RVV of tau is nothing but f inverse of SVV of f. So v square del is nothing but PVV. So the autocorrelation is taken at first time instant. So the origin. So it is equated to the Fourier transform. So the first property is nothing but SVV of f is greater than or equal to 0. Then the second property is nothing but SVV of f is equal to SVV of minus f. When x of t and h of t are real, so x of t is nothing but the input signal, y of t is nothing but the output signal, h of t is nothing but the time domain representation, capital H is nothing but it is the transfer function, rxx is nothing but the autocorrelation function, ryy is nothing but it is the output autocorrelation. So ryy of tau is equal to h of minus tau star h of tau star rxx of tau. Yes, y of f is nothing but it is the magnitude square of the transfer function, and for the output power spectral density is equated to the input power spectral density but along with the squared magnitude function of the filter which is taken into consideration. Okay, so okay, now if you look into white noise, so as the name itself implies, the noise is white. So white in the sense it is prevalent in the entire frequency spectrum of the communications application. So it is present in all the frequencies, starting from the very low frequency to the high frequency. So this noise is present. Hence, it is called as white noise. Now, since this white noise is actually constant at all the frequencies, so it is represented by the magnitude n naught by 2. It is represented at constant frequencies, and the value is nothing but it is a unit impulse function del of tau. So that is what it is given here. So the autocorrelation function Rn of tau is nothing but it is integral minus n plus infinity n naught by 2 e power j 2 pi f tau df, which is nothing but n naught by 2 del of tau. Okay, so this is the Fourier transform of white noise. So if you take the uh, inverse, if you take the inverse Fourier transform, it goes back to the time domain representation. Okay, so the noise is nothing but it is white and Gaussian. So practically it is non-white. So n naught is nothing but it is actually the noise. Okay, and the noise equivalent bandwidth. So the noise equivalent bandwidth is nothing but, so if you pass on the input signal, what about the bandwidth? Okay, so the output power. Okay, so that is the power spectral density. The output power spectral density is nothing but it is n naught by 2 if you integrate it over the transfer function, so this is represented as and not integral 0 to infinity. So this is from minus infinity plus infinity. So if it's taken with respect to the 0 to infinity, so this 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So h of f whole square df. So bn is equal to 1 by h of f max. So integral 0 to infinity. So h of f square df. This is the standard representation. Okay. So likewise, you can just look in for problems based on this particular topics. Okay. So a white noise signal is a signal for which the autocorrelation is nothing but it is the autocorrelation function is nothing but is sigma square del of m. So earlier we saw it as something like this. So either you can have this sort of representation, you can have this sort of n naught del of tau, n naught by 2 del of tau. Either you can have like this or you can have like this. Okay. Sigma x square del of m. So assuming the signal has zero mean, the power spectrum of a white noise is nothing but the autocorrelation phi xx of e power j w. So summation m is minus infinity plus infinity phi xx of m e power minus j omega m. So and it is equal to sigma x square. Okay. So it has zero mean. White noise signal, it has zero mean, and it has a variance of sigma x square. So the average power of white noise is nothing but it is the variance of white noise. So sigma xx of 0 is nothing but it is 1 by 2 pi integral minus pi to plus pi phi xx of e power j omega dw. So 1 by 2 pi integral minus pi to plus pi. If you integrate this, so it comes to sigma x square. Okay. So uh, how to say a noise signal whose spectrum is a noise signal whose spectrum is not constant with frequency. A noise signal is one whose spectrum is not constant with signal frequency. A noise signal with power spectrum can be assumed to be the output of an LTI system with white noise input. So the output autocorrelation is nothing but it is the output autocorrelation is nothing but it is the output autocorrelation is nothing but so phi yy of e power j w. So h of e power j w the whole square sigma x square, the sigma x square. So now for instance, if the impulse response h of n is equal to a power n u of n, h of e power j omega is equal to 1 by 1 minus a e power j omega. Okay, so the transfer function is represented like this. The output autocorrelation is nothing but h of e power j omega whole square sigma x square. So if you write the transfer function here and it represents it square, so and if you just multiply this, so it becomes a representation like this. So the output autocorrelation takes a value like this. Okay. Likewise, the cross correlation, as you know from it is self-explanatory. Phi xy of m is equal to expectation of x of n y of n plus m. So expectation of x of n summation k is minus infinity plus infinity h of k x of n plus m minus k. Okay. So y of n plus m is nothing but it is the output of the filter. So it is convolution. It is linear convolution. So h of k. So if you just uh, bring in this x of n. So x of n plus m minus k becomes phi xx of m minus k. So it is time shifter autocorrelation function. So so considering the summation, it is just the convolution function, and you can just relate the autocorrelation phi xx of e power j omega along with the transfer function and the corresponding cross correlation. Okay. So so as a continuation further, phi xx of m is equal to sigma x square x del of m. So phi xy of m is equal to h of k star, that is the convolution. So it is the convolution phi xx. So phi xy is nothing but it is the cross correlation. Phi xx is nothing but it is the autocorrelation. So summation k is minus infinity plus infinity h of k sigma x square del of m minus k sigma x square h of m. That is for zero mean white noise input. The cross correlation between input and output of LTE system is proportional to the impulse response of the system. Okay, so you can just expect problems based on the response of the system in case the input is a random signal to a linear time invariant filter. So as you know, linear time invariant filter, it satisfies the properties of linearity, and it satisfies the time invariance property. Okay. Okay. Likewise, the cross correlation. So the cross power spectrum is proportional to the frequency response. So phi xy of m is equal to h of k convolved with phi xx of k. Summation k is minus infinity to plus infinity h of k sigma x square del of m minus k sigma x square h of m. So phi xx of e power j omega is nothing but sigma x square. So now what is a phi xx? So phi xx is nothing but it is autocorrelation, and sigma x square is nothing but it is a constant. Okay, so phi xy is nothing but it is the cross correlation, the cross power spectrum or the cross correlation. It is proportional to the frequency response of the system. So likewise, you can expect some problems out of this. So please go through this material. So if you have any doubts, you can just ask me. You can just ask me. You can just ask me. So I'll just change my presentation. Just change my presentation. One second. I'll stop sharing and just change my presentation. One second. Please stay connected. Once again, I'll just change my presentation. Please stay connected. So the random process, as you know, the random process. So if an outcome lambda is associated with time t, then it is a function of lambda, and time t it is formed at x of lambda comma t. Then the disk known as a random process. So we have seen all these concepts: strictly stationary, non-stationary process. So go through all these material. Uh, okay, we've seen what is wide sense stationary and weakly, that is weakly sense stationary, and these are some well-known problems which you are aware of. Given a random process x of t, you can expect problems in this gate exam question. X of t is cos of t plus phi, where phi is uniform in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So check whether the process is stationary. So these are some simple problems. So you need to find out what is the corresponding interval, minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So you have to integrate here, and you have to check whether the given process is a stationary process or it is a non-stationary process. Likewise, so discuss the stationarity of the random process. X of t is a cos omega t plus phi if a omega naught are constants, and theta is uniformly distributed random variable. Check for the Whiteson stationary process. Okay. So here in this case, mean expectation of x of t is nothing but it is found to be, so it is constant. If mean is a constant, then the given process is considered to be a stationary process. Likewise, if we find out the autocorrelation depends on tau since it is a Whitson stationary process. Okay, so you can go through some of these problems, verify whether the random process x of t is Whitson stationary or not. Okay, so where would y is uniformly distributed in the interval -1 to +1. So f of y 1 minus of -1, so it is 1 by 2. So if you just substitute here for y sine omega t and 1 to the interval minus, so it is a constant, the mean is a constant here, and if the autocorrelation depends on any constant, okay, the autocorrelation depends on t. So the autocorrelation is not a function of time delay tau, hence it is not a Whitson stationary process. Okay, so continuing further. Okay, filtering of random signals through linear time invariant systems, LTI systems. So as you know, filtering of random signals is nothing but so random signals are nothing but signals which are measured by statistical parameters and measured by statistical parameters, and so as you know, mean, variance, standard deviation. So variance always specifies the power level of any random signal or noise. So it's a linear time invariant system. So what we'll do is we'll pass on to a problem. So this type of problem you can expect in uh, GATE exams. So please work out on this type of problems. So consider a random process x of t is equal to square root of 2 sine 2 pi t plus phi, where the random phase phi is uniformly distributed in the interval 0 comma 2 pi. The autocorrelation is need to be found out. So expectation of x of t1, x of t2. Okay, so various options are given. So as you know, this is a random process, and this is a random process, and this random process um, is specified by a distribution, and this distribution is nothing but it is uniformly distributed. So uniformly distributed given in the problem. So uniformly distributed, theta is the random variable. You can have phi or theta, whatever it is. So phi of theta. Okay. So the lower limit 0, 0, upper limit 2 pi. So 2 pi is given. And if you just calculate what is the magnitude, so magnitude is nothing but it is 1 by the subtraction of the upper limit minus the lower limit. So 1 divided by 2 pi minus this 0. So this is 2 pi. So this is 1 by 2 pi. Okay. So given x of t is equal to, so given x of t is equal to root 2 sine 2 pi t plus phi. Phi is uniformly distributed in the interval 0 comma 2 pi. So to find the autocorrelation. So autocorrelation, uh, as you know, autocorrelation nothing but rxx of tau. Uh, rxx of tau, or it is t1 comma t2, t1 comma t2. So finding out the similarity at two different time instant, expectation of x of t1, x of t2. So irrespective of the irrespective of the what to say, the case of representation. So what you have to do is you have to just, this is x of t, root 2 sine 2 pi t1 plus 5, or the, you can add it as theta, whatever it is. plus into root 2 sine 2 pi t2 plus theta. So f theta of theta or f phi of theta d theta, whatever it is. So as phi is now, it's uniformly distributed under the interval 0 to 2 pi. So if we just substitute this, so you can root 2 into root 2, 2 comes outside, sine of a plus b into sine of a plus b. Okay, so sine a plus b into sine a plus b divided by 1 by 2. So that trigonometric representation will come. So d theta. Okay, so 1 by 2 pi sine 2 by t1 plus t2 plus 2 theta d theta. So similarly expanding further and writing this, the first integral, as you know, it is 0, as it is integrated from 0 to 2 pi. The second integral will result in cos of 2 pi of t1 minus t2. So expectation of t1 t2, so this is ultimately cos of 2 pi t1 minus t2. So try to concentrate on this type of problems. You can also expect relating to autocorrelation and also relating to cross correlation. This is for autocorrelation. Likewise, you can expect for cross correlation. So then we'll pass to the second problem. Let x of t be a Whitson stationary random process with power spectral density Sx of f if y of t is the process defined as y of t is equal to x of 2t minus 1. The power spectral density sy of f is, so you are given with the various options. Okay, so now here so this is shifting operation. So while working on problems, try to remember the properties. Shifting in time domain does not change the power spectral density, since power spectral density is Fourier transform of autocorrelation function of what to say. So WSS process autocorrelation function depends on time difference. So x of t tends to Rx. X of t is nothing but the Rx of 0 is autocorrelation function. Sx of f is nothing but the power spectral density for x of t. Then likewise for y of t, it is x of 2t minus 1, that is r suffix y is equal to tends to 2 eta. So this tends to 1 by 2 Sx of f. So by using which property, the time scaling property of Fourier transform, we can get this answer. Okay, so try to understand these type of problems also. So which option does it suit? Okay, so try to look in. So 1 by 2 Sx of f by 2. Okay, now we'll see some terminologies relating to the well-known Gaussian normal distribution. The normal Gaussian distribution is an important continuous probability distribution. Mean, average, mu, variance, standard deviation, squared, sigma square are the defining parameters. The standard normal distribution is the normal distribution with zero mean, mu is equal to 0, and unity variance, sigma square equal to 1. Okay, so as you know, thermal noise can be approximated by the Gaussian density distribution. Thermal noise can be approximated by using the Gaussian density distribution. It is having a PDF with mean 0, variance 1. So it is normally distributed with mean mu x and variance sigma x square. Okay. Now, if you look into a Gaussian random variable, so Gaussian random variable or a Gaussian random process can be considered as um, can be considered as the probability density function. So the probability density function with mean value. So you can have either mu x or m suffix x variance sigma square is denoted by normally distributed m comma sigma square. So the probability density function fx of x. So capital X refers to the random variable, and the small x it represents the values taken by each and every random variables. Okay, so this is also known as normal distribution. So n of 0 comma 1. So it is a standard normal distribution. The pdf and cdf are respectively given as. So the probability density function. So probability density function, cumulative distribution function, fx of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi e power minus x square by 2. And then fx of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to x e power minus x square by 2 dx. Okay. So as you know, the q function can be represented in terms of the integral normal Gaussian function. Q of x is equal to, so q of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi, so integral x to infinity e power minus x square by 2 dx. Okay, from the definition of q function we can see that fx of x is equal to 1 minus q of x, which is equal to q of minus x, q of x which is equal to q of minus x. So in this way you can relate the q function and error function, which already is known at this point of time. Okay. So a general Gaussian random variable n of m comma sigma square. So fx of x is nothing 1 by root 2 pi minus infinity to x e power minus minus uh, t minus mx square divided by 2 sigma square. So using at some different variable z is equal to t minus m by sigma. So considering that, so this entire thing is represented as z. So minus z by um, 2, that is z square by 2 e power minus z square by 2, which is equal to 1 minus q of x minus m by sigma. Okay. Okay. So this is how the exponential function and the q function are related. So 1 by root 2 pi uh, 1 by root 2 pi x e power minus x square by 2. Okay. So now if you look into the PDF of a Gaussian distribution, so why we are seeing this in detail is that you can expect some gate problems based on this particular concepts. Okay, so what happens when the mean mu is 0, when the variance sigma square is 0.2? So when the variance sigma square is 0.2, so the mean is at the origin and sigma square is the variance. Okay, likewise for various values of sigma square 1 is a well-known standard normal distribution. So standard normal distribution with mean 0 and unity variance. So this is the well-known standard distribution and for normal distribution. Then the CDF of Gaussian distribution. So the CDF of Gaussian distribution is nothing but, so it is a plot of x. X is nothing but the random variable, and these values taken by these random variables, and it's a plot of the
corresponding parameter phi of mu comma phi of mu comma uh, variance. So likewise similar to PDF of Gaussian distribution, and that is the density function. Density function of Gaussian distribution. You can also have the cumulative distribution function. This is the cumulative distribution function, or you can have the probability distribution function. Okay. And now the important theorem, the central limit theorem. Okay, the sum of independent identity distributed large number of random variables with finite variance is approximately normally distributed under certain conditions. So for binomial distribution, the approach is normal for large values of n and p. Poisson distribution is approximately the given value for large values of lambda. Chi-square distribution approaches normal for large values of k, and other distribution approaches n of 0, 1 when v is large. Okay, so now we'll come to with these basics, we'll come to transmission of data transmission over an LTI channel. Data transmission over an LTI channel. So see, you have a zero bit to be transmitted with minus a amplitude, and a positive bit binary one will binary one is transmitted with a. Okay, so the input x of t, the LTI channel, then the output the y of t. Okay, so so what will happen if y of t needs to receive 0 bit? What will happen if y of t needs to receive a single bit? Okay, the model channel will as LTI system with impulse response. Okay, so what is the corresponding impulse response? Okay, so C of t refers to the corresponding impulse response. U of t, C of t is nothing but the LTI system with impulse response. Okay, okay. So TH is nothing but it is the duration for which the waveform is in on time, like that. You can take high time. Okay. So you know what is a random process? You know what are the various stationary processes. So just to introduce a stationary process, you are aware of. So it is a statistical characterization of a process is independent at which the time at which observation of the process initiated. Okay. So stationary process. Okay. So it is dependent on whether the time at which observation of the process initiated. Okay. So then. Non-stationary process, so it's not a stationary process. So but instead there will be a time, there will be a time shift between the input signal and the output signal. So if x of t1 and x of t2 x of tk, you know the random variable obtained at t1 t2 tk, for the random process to be stationary in strict sense, random process to be stationary in strict sense, yeah, the joint distribution. Okay, the joint distribution. So this is capital Fx of t1 plus tau. So capital X of t plus tau. So this tau k is generalized. Okay, this tk is generalized. So x1 up to xk. So up to x fx of t1 or to x of tk for various, there is a difference between capital X and the small x. Okay, small x is nothing but the values taken by the individual random variables. Okay, so for all time shift tau, all k, and all possible choice of t1 t2 tk. Okay, so x of t and y of t are jointly strictly stationary if the joint finite dimensional distribution of x of t1 x of t2 up to x of tk and its corresponding complements in time are invariant with respect to the origin. So that is what is time invariance says, that if there is going to be a time shift in the corresponding mm, it will be time shift in the corresponding input, then there will also be a corresponding shift in the output. That is what time invariance is. But if there is the relation between the input shift and the output shift does not get satisfied, then there is going to be a time variant system to come into picture. Okay, so this is the case. And then the special cases, fx of t x, f of x of t plus tau x, fx of x for all values of t and tau. Then for another value, what happens if k is equal to 2, tau is equal to minus t1. Okay, and finally we represent what is the mm, cumulative okay, so the distribution function. Okay, so it depends on t2 and t2 minus t1, the time difference. Now we'll pass on to Whiteson stationary process. So it is once again Whiteson stationary process. You are aware of all that. A process that satisfies the following: expectation of x of t is equal to x bar, which is a constant. Okay. Then expectation of x of t, x of t plus tau is equal to r x x of tau. So this is autocorrelation. Okay. It's a stationary process. There is nothing but an autocorrelation. Whiteson stationary. So second order stationary process is also considered to be Whiteson stationary. So if x of t is a Whiteson stationary process, and if it is passed into a linear time invariant system. So what is a linear time invariant system? A linear time invariant system is one in which satisfies the properties of linearity and time invariance. So the output is also Whiteson stationary process. Then x of t is equal to, then x of t, if x of t is some input something like a sine omega t plus phi plus theta, so it is distributed. So fixed and stationary process to what to say, so to certain conditions it works out. So certain conditions is just for the strict and stationary process. So then the Gaussian process, also called a stationary process. So if it is input to a linear system, that is the system produces an output of Gaussian process. Okay, so these are all some of the blocks or properties which you need to know regarding uh, linear filtering of signals when it is passed through an LTI system. Okay, the input might be either a random signal in the form of noise. It can also be a white noise. So please do look in after it. Okay, so now what is white noise? So you know what is white noise? Actually, thermal noise is nothing but actually white noise. So white noise is said to, W of t is said to be a white noise process if RW of t1 comma t2 is equal to q of t1 del of t1 minus t2. So so if the expectation of W of t1 and its conjugate complex conjugate 0 unless t1 and t2, okay, unless t1 equals t2. So W of t is said to be a Whiteson stationary W of t is said to be a Whiteson stationary white noise if the Whiteson stationary white noise. The W of t is also a Gaussian process, so it is called as white Gaussian process. Then all its samples are independent random variables. So RWW T1 comma T2 Q of del T1 minus T2 is equal to Q of del of tau. Okay, so WRT is also a Gaussian process, then all the samples are independent variables. Okay, so for Whiteson stationary process, the white noise input W of t, we have now when it is passed into a linear time invariant system. When it is passed to a linear time invariant system, the output is just convolution of the impulse response and the output. Um, it is the output. So for Whiteson stationary white noise input, so we have w of t as the input going here, and h of t is the impulse response. So the output of such an LTI system, if input is a white noise, is nothing but it is a colored noise. So n of t is nothing but h of t convolved with w. That is w of t is nothing but it is the thermal noise. Okay. So, and what is the mean of that particular noise? Expectation of nt is nothing but mu of w minus infinity plus infinity h of tau d tau, which is a constant. Okay. So rm of tau. So rm of tau is nothing but, as we have seen earlier. So we have seen q of q of the tau, or q of t1 minus t2. Okay, so q of q of del of tau, which is convolved with h star of minus tau convolved with h of tau. So h of uh, so q of h star, h star minus tau, so convolved with h of tau is nothing but it is q of p of tau. So q of p of tau is the corresponding value. So the output of white noise process through an LTE system always represents a colored noise process. So you might think, what is a colored noise? So colored noise, from this particular block itself, we can say that when white noise is passed into a linear time invariant system, then the output of white noise is considered to be a colored noise. The output of white noise is considered to be colored noise. The output of white noise is considered to be color noise. Okay. So as you know, so we were saying this. So p of tau, h of tau star, h star of minus tau, complex conjugate. H star refers to complex conjugate. So if a plus jb is considered to be h of tau, then its complex conjugate h star is nothing. H star of tau is nothing but a minus jb. So minus tau will play a role in the time delay. Okay. So this is for further minus infinity to plus infinity, h of alpha, h star of alpha plus tau. Okay. Now we'll see a linear. We have seen a linear system with the white noise. Okay. You know what is white noise? So white noise specified by the Gaussian density function, and it is also specified by the, what to say, the autocorrelation and the power spectral density. In application of random process, in application of random process, okay, so in application of random process, so the input output relation through a linear system. So this is nothing but an FIR filter, finite impulse response filter, whose impulse response is considered to be finite. So you can truncate by using various window techniques, Hamming window. So Hamming window, I can truncate that using various windows techniques. So y of t is nothing but x of t convolved with h of t. Okay. So, and if it is an integral, it is minus infinity to t x of tau h of t minus tau d tau. So x of t is a random process, and h of t is if it is a unit impulse response. So there is a deterministic function which is represented here. Response of the linear system, filter or any other linear system. So the linear system with random input. So x of t is nothing but it is a linear system h of tau. Y of t is equal to x of t convolved with h of t, input output relation. So we can have its representation in time domain. So the output in time domain is the convolution of the random process, the x of t, and the impulse response h of t. Okay, so we have seen earlier. So this is the response. Y of t is equal to x of t convolved with h of t. So this is the symbol actually here. So this particular x of epsilon symbol. So in other words, y of t is nothing but integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of epsilon or eta. Okay, so x of tau h of t minus tau d tau, something like that. You can have in terms of tau t minus tau tau, or you can have in terms of eta or this particular symbol representation. Anything you can have. Okay, so now we'll see the what is going to be the output for an what is the output of a random process if it is passed into such an FIR filter, and we'll see what is its autocorrelation, what is its mean value, and what is its corresponding output. Okay, so the input random process x of t, input random process x of t. So x of t is passed into an FIR filter h of t, so you find be finding out the output. As we have seen through various convolution terms in terms of integral. Okay, in terms of integral. Now to find the mean of y of t, to find the mean of y of t. So my of t is nothing but it is expectation of y of t. Expectation of y of t. So we have seen this representation. So the same representation we are seeing it as line by line representation. So integral minus infinity plus infinity h of tau x of t minus tau d tau. Okay. So integral minus infinity plus infinity h of tau expectation of x of t minus tau d tau. Okay, as you know this is nothing but h of tau, and expectation of x of t minus tau is nothing but it is the mean of the random process x of t, in input random process x of t. Okay, mean of the random process x of t, mean of the random process x of t. So so my of t, my is nothing but integral minus infinity plus infinity h of tau mx of d tau. Okay, so if the input random process x of t is Whitson stationary, mean is constant. Okay, h of 0 refers to the zero frequency for the corresponding system. So my is equal to mx into h of 0. So h of 0 refers to zero frequency. Okay, so to find the autocorrelation of output random process y of t, so we have found out what is the mean. We need to find out what is the autocorrelation. So to find out the autocorrelation, Ry of t comma u is equal to expectation of y of t into y of u. As you know, it is only with respect to the output actually. It's, with respect to only the how to say the output. So it is y of t and y of u. So Ry of t comma u is nothing but so integral. So integral h of tau 1 x of t minus tau 1 d tau integral minus infinity, then you have to uh, write h of tau 2 x of t minus tau 2 d tau 2. So it is integral. Okay, now combining these terms. Okay, now combining these terms, integral minus infinity to I'm combining this minus infinity plus infinity, minus plus infinity h of tau 1 d tau h of tau 2 d tau 2 expectation of x of t minus tau 1 into expectation of u minus tau 2. So splitting all these integrals, so what is this particular representation? So this is the random process, input random process. It is observed at two different time instants. The input random process, it is observed at two different time instants. So since it is observed at two different time instants, it is nothing but the, what is this? It is autocorrelation. Autocorrelation. So you have h of tau 1 d tau 1 h of d tau 2 r x x of u minus t. Okay, it's a presentation. Okay, so likewise you can proceed this further, you can proceed further, and the input of LTI system, if the input of the LTI system is Whitson stationary, the output of LTI is also Whitson stationary. So at the tau is equal to 0, tau is equal to 0, Ry of 0 is nothing but integral minus infinity to plus infinity h of tau 1 h of tau 2 rxx of tau 2 minus tau 1 d tau 1 d tau 2. Okay, so this is the output of LTI filter whose input is a random process. So how does A random process gets filtered out by using filtering techniques. Okay, so you can also expect these sort of concepts in the gate exam. So please do prepare accordingly. Okay, mm, so please do prepare accordingly.